Everyway Woman is excited to welcome to our show a very special guest, Sheila Viers, the co-founder of Live Well 360. Welcome, Sheila.
Thank you. So glad to be here.
Now, Sheila, Oprah has, documented her struggle with yo-yo dieting and really talking about emotional eating. And your organization is helping women with emotional eating. Tell us about that.
Basically, I help to teach women that emotional eating isn't a disorder or something that you have to feel guilty about. It's something that we all do at some point in our life.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, and really the thing is to just use it as an indicator and pay attention when you are emotionally eating to say, okay, what's happening in my life right now that I need to pay attention to where I'm looking to food for comfort, and how can I fill that void with more happiness, more joy, and do things that I can bring into my life that will make it more enjoyable, so that I can stop turning to food for comfort.
And do you think it's because people are under a lot of stress these days, and people are really not having a lot of pleasurable things in their life, and they're stressed for many different reasons? I think maybe that could contribute to that, don't you think?
Absolutely. I mean, people are under a great amount of stress, and I think that food is an easy thing to turn to because it's very easily accessible, and so it's a quick fix, and so we just keep going, and
Let's rewind to your personal experience.
Because people look at you and they're like, she's not emotional eating. What does she know about this?
I've been there. I mean, that's really where my passion comes for this subject. I started dieting back when I was 15, and I had the whole gamut of self-esteem issues, and then I also had physical issues too. I had food intolerances and hormonal issues, and I was just all out of whack, and it all came back to my emotions, and really that's what helped me to be able to lose 35 pounds and keep it off for the long term.
You look great.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
She
It's working
so
for
what
you.
was the turning
Thank you.
point? When did you decide, I need to get this in check?
I had been setting goals and losing weight and dieting like crazy.
That's good.
But then I got there, and then I realized that I had created this sort of prison for myself because I was so afraid to eat anything outside of what I had deemed like the perfect things
Which
to
happens
eat.
to a lot of teenagers out there. A lot of teenage girls, see themselves like
what
that.
advice would you give to someone who's trying to do a whole lifestyle change, like versus dieting and all the other stuff, the fads? Like, what advice?
I would say that if you are going to diet, that can be a catalyst for people. That can be the first step, because it helps you to really focus and so forth. But the diet is not the long-term solution. The long-term solution is really getting to the issues that are the underlying foundation of why you're feeling bad about yourself, why you're not taking good care of yourself, which is really what it's all about.
It's a long-term commitment, I think, that you make to doing that. A life changing commitment that you have to stick to.
Well, speaking of life-changing and lifestyle, you have a cookbook.
I do.
Correct?
Yes, it's called Eat Well 360, and basically it's all about learning how to make foods that are the comfort foods healthy. And so that's what I've gone through, and I have 141 plus recipes of all my favorite healthy comfort food.
So not the Paula Deen version, right?
Right.
Okay, so break it down. Give me your top 3 favorite recipes.
I have a recipe for oatmeal that is a German chocolate cake oatmeal recipe to have in the morning.
Ooh.
I have,
Who doesn't want cake for breakfast?
Right. And that's the thing. It's finding ways to really eat foods that are both nourishing and satisfying. And when you do that, then it makes healthy eating just a part of who you are, and it's just a lifestyle that you can manage and do it for the long term.
So if I have cake for breakfast, what am I having for lunch?
There's a recipe for, let me think, there's a meatloaf recipe, a turkey meatloaf recipe that is outstanding. It's out of this world, and it just has like a little bit of tomato sauce on top, and the onions are the secret, because when you cook it with onions, it makes it really moist.
And dinner, what do we have for dinner, right?
I have a tilapia recipe that has, it's like crusted in nuts and a little bit of flour that just kind of makes it like it's, the breaded, like a breading like you would have, at a restaurant or something like that.
Sounds tasty.
So, I mean, are you a personal chef, or were you a cook? How did you develop these recipes?
With my husband. He's not a chef either, but we both just have a passion for eating food. We just love food, and we wanted to make foods that we really felt good about putting into our body, and so we got creative and trial and error until we came up with recipes that were just really fabulous, and people love them. All our friends are like, "Oh my God, you have to make that at our next barbecue."
Awesome.
Do you have anything spicy? Because that's sometimes what I run into. I love spice, I love flavor, and sometimes I turn to the healthy recipes. I'm like, you know, I love kale chips and all, but I can't have them every single day. You know, I need something with a little bit more oomph. So do you have things that are spicy? And
we have like a turkey chili recipe. There's a couple that have a little bit of spice to them. I mean, but that's just, you know, your own personal preference. So you just find spices that you really enjoy using and then, you know, get creative with it. I think that's the biggest thing, is that really finding, you know, what works for you. And that's how you make it that long-term lifestyle, because it's something
you can feel good about.
Yeah, and it's so personal, because it's like there are so many blueprints out there that you can, you know, pick up and it says this is what you're supposed to do to be healthy, but it might not be the exact right fit for you.
I think it's important, really, we're talking about, you know, maybe men and women here who do this, but you know, the kids too can start early on and realize that at an early age, that they're eating this for a reason, and you know, maybe we can even get our kids to recognize some of these things
like,
too.
yuck, Brussels sprouts.
Right, exactly.
Well, thank you so much for being here. For more information, you can find it on everywaywoman.com for Live Well 360. Stay tuned.
Thanks.
Thank you.